Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 66 of Kayfabe with Keaton. This episode's a very special episode where we're bringing in Crossen to talk about his retirement match. This match is going to be historic in NIPW. The former five-time NWF World Heavyweight Champion tries to reclaim gold back from Ricky Henry. This is going to be one of Ricky's most hard matches. I'm one of Crusher's most hard matches. He's been away from the ring for years and is finally having his official retirement match. And I can't wait for this to happen. So now, for one night only, let's bring in Crusher Crossen, our former co-host, for his return to KV with Keaton.
This is like deja vu, united again. It's just like old times coming back in here. Almost brings a tear to my eye, Keaton, to come on here again with you. Since we used to do this show so much in the beginning. I gotta say. Yeah, it's good to be here, Keaton. How are you doing?
Absolutely great. You know, I'm quite tired out after my interview with DJ Head, but I had to come on and interview one of the top guys. You know, one of the top guys that we knew, Crusher Crossen.
Well, thank you for that, Keaton. And you know, you're becoming a top guy. You've had what, a couple matches already now?
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool to see the transitioning of doing all the training that you've been doing and now getting into that ring. As I have been, even though it's been many, many years, but I've, you know, not now that we've announced the match, I can talk about this a little bit more, but I've also been training for 2 months in the ring. So just to get brushed up on modern techniques and stuff, you know, being away from it for so long, you know, you kind of want to get rid of a little bit of the ring rust. And so that's kind of what I was been up to for the last couple months, in addition to the gym and swimming and everything else. So busy beaver.
Yeah. Well, of course, at this kind of age, you know, you've been doing a lot as a wrestler, and you know, you stopped wrestling and correct me if I'm wrong, when you're in your 20s, and now you're coming back to the ring now in your 50s. Most people at that age have been retired well longer by now, and now you're getting in, you're swimming, you're doing all sorts of training to face one of the best this country has to offer, Ricky Henry. So how on earth are you going to prepare yourself? I know you've done lots of training, but how can you possibly prepare yourself for someone like Ricky Henry? I've stepped across the ring from him, and you need to be 100% smart and 100% on your game.
Oh, absolutely. But that's one of the reasons I've been doing training with Devotion Championship Wrestling, to get brushed up on modern techniques, because that's what Ricky's trained on. The real question here, and maybe you can ask this later, is what is he doing to prepare for me? Because see, while I can train on his modern techniques, he cannot train on old school. And old school, I don't care how many tapes you watch, Keaton, I don't care how much stuff you watch and everything, until you're in there with somebody that's really old school, and it's hard to find guys anymore. It's a whole different element. And is Ricky going to be prepared? That's the question. You know, I got to say this, Ricky, or Keaton, sorry. I knew I was going to do that at one point. I knew I was going to do that. I want to say this, though, Keaton. Do you remember when we did the Ben Nelson matchup and there was that one possibility scenario that Ricky might have to face me? And remember when Ricky found that out? Remember the look on his face? Looked like he's seen a ghost, right? That was the look of fear. And he had that same look when I announced the match just the other few weeks ago. Ricky's afraid of something, Keaton. And unless you're Ricky Henry, we don't know what it is. If I had to guess, though, it's the fact that I am old school, and he's never dealt with that before. And that's uncharted waters for him. So for him, it's like, for anybody, they kind of don't know what they're getting their hands into here. And that kind of is, maybe it's not as much fear as it is concern right now for him, but it's definitely on his mind.
Listen, I'm trying to be an unbiased interviewer. You know, I've been on two sides before. I've been on the Crusher Crossen side. I've been on the Ricky Henry side, as you know, for a while. And, you know, as an unbiased interviewer, it's very hard when you both know these two guys. But I honestly, from this kind of side, I honestly don't know if it's fear from Ricky, or if it's he doesn't want to hurt you, or if he doesn't want to hurt a man at this age. So I don't really understand where Ricky's coming from. I don't understand why he's actually agreed to this match, and how he's going to prepare himself for you.
Well, he didn't have a choice. He had to do the match or he'd get stripped of that belt. So he's kind of been pushed into it. There is that part of it. But yeah, you know, you're right. You're absolutely right. There's also another factor here besides this thing, something that he's afraid of. I think there is a respect factor. You know, when we did our 1-year anniversary, you've seen that show.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious that Ricky has respect, and you know, Ricky has learned so much about the NWF, and he's learned about what I've accomplished, and he has a lot of respect for that. But that's also part of what he's afraid of too, because he knows that when I put my mind to something, I get it done and I accomplish it, and he knows I have that kind of mindset. And now he's going in the ring with somebody who really understands that championship that he so dearly holds, and he's never had an opponent like that. No offense to you, Keaton, and no offense to Tom Patterson, or Tom Patterson. I make sure I get the name right. These guys are new. Or Adam. Yeah, granted, these guys are new, but they're not experienced. And I'm not trying to rip on you when I say that, Keaton. It was your first match, and you got taken advantage of. He knows this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ricky takes advantage of you new guys because he knows right where you're at, right? And you got dealt that bad hand with him. And I know I don't want to get you going on a tangent because I know you're trying to be impartial, but you know what I'm talking about. He
Yeah.
can't game with me because I've been down that street before and I know exactly what's around the corner, and that's probably why he's got some concern. I'm going to use the word concern because he's not afraid. It's not that he's afraid. He's been in the ring with people bigger than me and stronger than me, and he had his rear end kicked. So he's not afraid, but he's definitely concerned.
Well, yeah.
I think he's concerned about losing the belt, honestly.
Well, being impartial doesn't mean that I can't agree with something you say, because I know for a fact that Ricky Henry is one of the most dangerous and one of the most smart wrestlers anyone can be in the ring with. And I agree with what you're saying. You know, there was an experience factor there. Rick, the Globetrotter had matches, way more matches under his belt. He's been a former NXT junior heavyweight champion. He's been the longest reigning champion there, and I believe he's the second longest reigning NWF champion in current. So he knows what he's doing when he steps into this ring. But and I agree with you, it is an experience factor, but also he will take it. He is smart enough to outsmart anyone who's ever stepped in this ring. And will there be any ring rush from Crossen for something that maybe the old school guy doesn't understand more from the new school guy, and he's learned more new school tricks, you know? So
of course there's going to be. Of course, I'd be lying if I told you there wasn't. But that doesn't mean that I won't overcome it either, though. I'm not going to be perfect with the capital P, but I'm going to be 100% determined to do the best I can. And that's all I can give you. But I will tell you this, having been in the ring with your modern wrestlers, you know, for 2 months I've been training with Devotion, and I'll give you an example. Last week I was we do practice matches. They called for a flying back elbow, right? I've never done that. That wasn't in my arsenal. So I've never done a back elbow, but it was called for, and what am I supposed to do? So I did it. I just did it, and everybody went nuts. So the point is this, you know, because they don't. How often do you see somebody in their mid-50s doing a flying back elbow, right? So I can do moves. I probably can do more moves than I even think I know, you know, and I'm not afraid to take something like that on and do it. So that you know, it doesn't. The ring rust thing might be there, but it isn't going to bother me, and it's probably not going to be noticed by the average fan anyway. A good wrestler will notice it, but you know, I'm talking about footwork and that kind of thing, the little things. But I'm not worried about it. That ain't gonna make or break this match.
Yeah, well, we know this will be a very big day for you. You've been preparing for months and months after this, training with some of the best trainers. And we'll get to the trainers that you've been training with in a minute. But I want to bring in this comment from Darren Whiteside, who's clearly on your side. He says, "Corsair, you're looking smooth and confident. I've seen so many people rooting for the 5-timer. That we are all rooting for. I think he would say that's you're all rooting for, Upper Crusher."
Well, Darren, thanks for that. And you know what? Them good luck videos just keep pouring in. I've got a bunch of them. Matter of fact, we're going to see a preview of one here that hasn't been shown yet from one of the guys I trained with here in Devotion. And I'm getting these videos from just about everybody, from guys over there, from former NWF guys. And they all, you know what? The common denominator, Keaton, and I know you got to be impartial, but they all want to see Crusher get this championship one more time. And that is the bottom line. And you know what? I do too. I'm not going to lie. I want to become a 6-time champ. Keaton, that's only been done once in the history of wrestling to be able to go into a match as a retirement match and retire as a world champion. Vern Gagne did it in 1981. I would be the second guy to do that. Damn right I want to do that. So I'm not be lying. The other thing though, with all this, the way he runs amok on you guys, you newbies, and then he gloats about it and thinks he's so great. Yeah, I want to do it for the NIPW fans and people like you guys too. I want to do it for everybody that he's run amok of. That's the kind of the way I could describe it. And I can't think of any other way to say it.
Well, you can't deny Ricky Henry has brought the NWF Championship to new heights. You know, and they've had some amazing champions in the past. Kid USA, Kelsey. We've had Ace. We've had people who've defined eras of NWF. What you can't deny that the 2000 era and the 2000s era of the NWF belongs to the Globetrotter, and you could definitely change that. But at the minute, it belongs to the Globetrotter, and taking that away from him would end an era. Absolutely, Crusher, and so he's definitely defending the era for your.
You're right. You're right. It would end the era with him. Wouldn't necessarily. Me and Dave were talking about this, and by the way, Canary, the Globetrotter really ruffled the feathers of Dixie Dave. Now Dave is not too happy with what he heard. Did you hear this latest that the NWF is my brand out of Ricky? I don't know if you heard that. That's his latest line. You know, he's went from being my co-host to being the main host to being me being a 5-time loser to him being on the face of the NWF Mount Rushmore, and now it's his brand. And now Dixie Dave, the one guy that was in his corner, is now not happy with it. So, you know what, Keaton, the reason I'm saying all this, that's just fuel to the fire, man, for me. That gives me more and more of a reason to get in there and kick his tail. And that's exactly what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to give him everything I got. And the thing is this, he doesn't know what's coming around the corner with me. I'm going to do moves, Keaton. It's going to be old school style. He's not prepared for that. I know he's not. And I'm going to hit him in ways that he's never been hit before. So, you know, you asked me, how am I going to prepare for Ricky? Well, I'm asking you, how's he going to prepare for me? So I know I'm old. I may not have the same step I had when I was in my 20s. But if you think that's going to be the deciding factor, so I got sorry news for you, because it's not going to be the deciding factor. I told Ricky, I told everybody, I will not quit until I am done in that ring. Are you there, Keaton? Because it looks like you froze on me. Keaton, are you there?
Yep.
Okay, now I see you.
Sorry, froze there.
Yeah, you froze up on us. So you heard what I said? Are you there, Keaton?
Sure. Good night.
Yeah, I'm watching the YouTube stream.
Yep.
It's you that's freezing, by the way. Keaton, are you there? Yeah, are you there, Keaton? Keaton, are you there? Keaton, are you there? You need to reboot your internet connection or something.
There, seem back now.
Yeah, it's your connection, by the way. I'm looking at the YouTube stream. You're the one that's freezing. Are you there?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a bandwidth thing or you got to reboot that laptop or something, but yeah, you're the one that's freezing up. Sometimes you got to reboot your computer if you haven't done it in a while. Oh, there's a comment. Crusher, oh wait, that's the comment we already seen.
Yeah. That's welcome
Ladies,
to the internet. Or it seems like I'm back now.
I can hear you good.
Hello?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep. This is probably going to go off again, so I'll have my phone with me to see if that changes anything.
Oh, is your phone? Are you on your phone now?
No, I'll just get my phone with me just to see if that changes anything. But if anything
Yeah.
happens, I'm on my
If
computer now.
anything, you gotta. What I think you got to do is reboot the computer or something. Because it's your connection that's doing it. I can tell you that. I've been trying to hold the fort down, but I don't want to take over your show. Anyways, so did you hear what I said? I don't remember what I said anymore.
So as you were saying,
what did I say? I think I know they all heard it, but basically I just said he's got to be ready for me. What I was basically saying in a nutshell is he doesn't know old school, and I know he doesn't. And he can watch all the freaking tapes he wants. He can watch everything he wants. Watching it and doing it are two different things. So, and everybody's told me the one advice I get from everybody over there. Can you hear me okay, Keaton? You can't, can you? Oh, you can? Yeah, see, I can tell there's a big delay though. But anyway, what everybody tells me over there is what they want to see from Nathan to John McCann to all of them. They want to see the old school versus the new school. They want to see that is a very appealing matchup, and I'm going to give it to them. So
absolutely, yeah, it's two new different generations of the NWF, Crossen and the Globetrotter. These are both two people who defend an era of NWF, and it's going to be an absolutely incredible matchup. But realistically, how are you going to win this? You know, it's not as if Ricky's just stepped into the ring. That's kind of the way you're making it sound. He hasn't. It's not as if he just stepped into the ring. You know, he's had years of experience.
Yeah, he has, but so have I. So the only difference between he and I is he's just got the modern techniques and modern style, and he's been doing it more actively, and that's an advantage for him. But if I hit him with things he's never seen before, now it becomes my advantage, and I'm going to take full advantage of it. I know before I believe you have him coming on, and I'll be stepping out, but I want to show you some of I don't have I can't show you training footage, right? But I thought one thing we could show is, where is it here?
Try to log in through here.
Oh, there you go. Can you hear me good on the phone?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Oh, you got to get rid of that echo though.
There you go.
Is that better now? You just got to shut that laptop off. Because it's just feedback. There. Can you hear me good now?
Yep, 1 minute. Just let me turn my mic up. Yep.
There. Is this good?
Yep, that's fine.
All right. So yeah, I can hear me good now. See, there's something wrong with that laptop. But now you can hear me good. Mm-hmm. All right, good. I thought what I'd do is show you the couple pictures. I think I gave them to you. If you want to bring that picture in that's got the whole group, I'll just tell you a little bit about my training. Because I know that was a question. Or do you want me to do it since I can do it easier since you're on your phone?
Yeah, I
can do it for you. Let me just get rid of this comment though, because it's in the way. There we go. All right, I will bring it in since I can do it easier now that you're on your phone. It's hard to do these things. So this picture here, this is our some of the guys I've been training with. This is our at Devotion Championship Wrestling. You can see me there. I'm the third one over from the left. That's interesting. You see that thing on the bottom of the ring there? That thing with all the lines? That's just showing our lanes, right? As your comment, and you know this, Keaton, you've been training long enough. That's just how they train us on the lines. They actually have that in the middle of the ring. That guy there flexing in the middle, that's Coach Mark. He's my third coach. That's the other coach that he's from the East Coast. He's the one that labeled me with the Ricky Steamboat arm drag. He noticed it right away. It was really funny when I went to do my arm drag here in training, Keaton, with, let me see, is he in here? Yeah, the guy that has the org shirt on, is I am an org or not an org or whatever. When he went to take my arm drag, he didn't know what to do because I was doing it. I was setting them for a whole different way that he's used to doing. They're used to just doing the normal drop down arm drags that you guys do.
Yep.
And this Coach Mark said, I said, am I doing something wrong? He goes, no, no, you're not doing anything wrong. They just haven't seen it. He goes, they're only trained one way here, and they just haven't seen it, so it's good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it
And
was kind of funny that way. But
could you add that into your repertoire of moves?
yeah, because I've learned the other arm drag now, like the way they do it, you do it now. So it's like, and the only thing I had to modify with mine is because back in the day we did hook and throw on an arm drag, so I had to modify mine in a way where I can still hook, but I have to straighten my arm out so that I don't catch his arm. That's
Yeah.
This is little training things behind the scenes, guys. Unless you're in the wrestling training, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, anyways, so the other guy over there on the left, that's Coach Mark with that San Francisco shirt on, his 49er shirt on. And I have another picture with him as well, but that's one of my other coaches. He's the one who teaches me a lot of some of the more, he's taught me some nice chain moves that I learned from him. Jackson's the one right next to me. The guy next to me there is the other guy that's tall with the beard. His name is Tox, and he used to be the oldest one there. He was 51. He's 51 years old.
You broke a record as well?
And I just broke that record. Yep, I'm the oldest now. So anyways, that's that picture. Now I'm going to show you this other picture. These are my other two coaches. These are the coaches I worked with the most. That's Coach Mark or Coach Mike on the left and Coach Sowell on the right. And those are my other two prominent coaches. And they both have been I got to thank these guys enough, man. They've really gotten me prepared. Very helpful. Very helpful. I'm so glad I went and did this for 2 months because it's been a big help. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And then I thought the other thing, Keaton, did you want to show that before I split here? Do you want to show the promo video quick that we're going to play?
Yeah. Do you think, no problem. So
yeah, it's only like 3 or 4 minutes. So play that promo video and then when we play this video, you'll just see the video and then we'll come back after it. Right?
Yeah.
You want me to do it since I can see it? Because Keaton, you're struggling. I can tell. I'll pull it up for you. All right. If I can see. Oh, there
Well,
we go. The
that was
highlight reel.
an incredible montage
Yeah,
as
1989 highlight reel is what that
Wrestling,
was.
Wrestling for Life says. That's such a montage. Be afraid, Ricky. And speaking of Ricky, we'll have a comment coming in here from the Globetrotter. Uh,
Oh, they don't
he
say.
says, he says, yeah, Schmucker. Maybe if you spent less time yapping and running that wrinkled up mouth of yours, you may actually have a chance of winning my title. Now get out of the stream. People are sleeping. So I think what the Globetrotter's saying is he's asking you to get out of the stream.
Yeah, he's waiting to get in here. But you know what? I'm going to leave you with this, and I'm going to get out of here. But let me just show you what the if you want to get rid of the comment, it doesn't matter. The comment can go away whenever. But this is what one of the guys I've just recently trained with had to say. Let's listen to him. I haven't put this out yet, but we'll play that, and then I will bounce and let Ricky get his say.
Howdy, Crusher. I just want to say that it's been an absolute pleasure over the months getting to know you, training with you, and occasionally taking a bump for you. Now, all that being said, Ricky Henry, you've got one chance to get out of this match unscathed. But my man Crusher, I think he's got your number, brother. So, enjoy your time, enjoy your match, and come back with the win. We'll be waiting on you, brother. See you soon.
That's TJ, good guy. So I will leave you be, Keaton. I know you got to get to the other half of this show, but just know this: Belfast, Northern Ireland, I'm coming, and I'm ready, and I can't wait. And the other thing too, Keaton, I just can't wait to see all you guys again. I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm out.
Bye-bye.
All right.
So we just heard them words from Crusher Crossen as he goes into his official retirement match. And suddenly we've had a message from Ricky Henry who comments saying a lot about Crusher Crossen and is now requesting to come onto the podcast. Now I'm seeing he's actually on the guest list right now. So this is such a surprise right now. We're now going to hear from the Globetrotter Ricky Henry and something I never expected. So that was it. Further ado, bring him in. So Ricky, welcome.
Hello, people of the NWF. Hello, Keaton, my good friend. How are we today?
I'm doing quite well. I'm still quite surprised that you've requested to come on to the podcast here. Something we didn't expect. Tell us why.
Why did I request to come on the podcast? You think I'm going to let that old geriatric nobody come on to my show and try and run his mouth and make a joke of me, the NWF champ? It's not going to happen like that. All right. Yes, fair enough. I get he's probably trying to get his get back because I'm going to absolutely embarrass the old man on the 18th of January. So he's probably trying to get his own back and trying to embarrass me. But the thing is, Keaton, you know yourself, you learned the lesson the hard way. You can't embarrass me. You can't ruin my name. You can't ruin my reputation. I'm unstoppable. You said it yourself, one of the most smartest and dangerous performers in NIPW. And that's not changed. And the thing that's not going to change is that belt being right there on a mantelpiece on my bed.
Well, I can't deny that. You are one of the most smartest wrestlers to ever step foot in the ring. I've experienced it myself. But I have to admit, Porter Crossen, you can't take anything away from him. You just seen that montage. He can do so much in that ring. And it seems like he's learning more about the new style and the old style. So how are you possibly going to compete with this? While Porter Crossen has both and you only have the new style?
Look, I'm going to actually address a lot of things with my answer to this question because we all know Crusher was making jokes. You know, when I first actually tuned in, because I've been watching for a bit, all right? I finished my dinner and I came up here and I thought, what else to watch than the Kayfabe of Keaton podcast? But the first thing that I decided to hear from Crusher was him trying to belittle my championship defenses, bringing up the fact that I've faced new, young, hungry up-and-comers instead of washed-up veterans, has-beens like himself. So I'll tell you exactly why I have Crusher Crossen's number. And that's because if I'm able to beat a Tom Patterson coming up hungry, ready for a fight, and Adam Beggs in the exact same boat. I saw them two starting the exact same training session. I had both their numbers. All right. Gary Gibson, you know yourself. You see Titanic shows. You see him. He's going to Scotland and winning championships. That man is in the prime of his life doing all these things. And I had his number. I beat him. I took Paulo Triassi, one of the greatest talents Canada and North America has to offer. I took him to a time-limit draw, and I also defeated him when I went to Canada in front of his home crowd. If I can beat all those people, and there's probably names I'm forgetting, but if I can beat all those people, what makes you think for any little second, for any little smidge of a chance, that Schmucker Crossen, a washed up man who hasn't wrestled in probably almost 30 years or so, could be more. It's probably more. You probably have the exact number. It's been a while. And the people that he was wrestling, he says it himself, were not trained the way I was trained. They don't have the instincts or the talent that I have. So I would go as far to say Crusher Cross in his prime doesn't beat me. So what makes you think that a washed up old man version of what we once knew as Crusher Crossen has a chance of defeating the Globetrotter in the best form of his life? What makes you think that? I'll ask a question back.
Well, listen, I'm trying my best to be an unbiased interviewer, but I can. You said some very harsh words about Crusher Crossing, my former co-host, calling him washed up. And trust me, I've seen videos of this training. I know that he's back and he's ready. You know, he's taking bumps at that age, and he's definitely not washed up. I can tell you that for a fact. But you know, and he's learning new styles. He's learning the old style and the new style. So he's back, and he's probably back better than ever. So that's why he has a chance of beating you.
Just stop, right? I'm going to point out something you're saying. You want to talk about styles? Let me talk about styles. I'm going to give you a little metaphor because the people know I like to speak in metaphors and I like to give analogies because that's how simple-minded people understand things. That's why Jesus Christ himself came to earth and spoke in parables to get his message through to people because they're a wee bit slow when you just tell them straight up. So let me just tell you all in a parable or a little bit of details and facts. So everyone knows I know my history and a bit of history I know. Titanic, the great sinking of this unstoppable ship happened in 1912. All right. Now, the people at the time of the Titanic knew about the Titanic sinking, didn't they? Of course, everyone knew.
Mm-hmm.
And people now in 2025, over 100 years later, know the Titanic sank, right? They know the story, and the people back then knew the story. But nowadays, we have laptops that I'm talking on right now. Do you think the people back then, at the time of Titanic, knew what a laptop was? They had no idea. And they never got to know. And that's how it works in this. All right? Because I am the new generation. I know the new style of wrestling. But I know the old style as well because I came after the old style. I came after everything that Crusher came through. But only thing is, Crusher stopped and anchored himself in the dirt as wrestling evolved. And sure, he can do 2 or 3 months of wrestling, but that doesn't teach him the almost 5 years of pro wrestling I've learned that includes the new style and the old style. All right, so him getting that wee bit of training, it must be great. And I'm sure he has learned a lot, because the new style has a lot to offer. But at the end of the day, I always will know more. And I know more wrestling than Crusher ever has. He is having the most professional training of his life recently. I have been having the most professional training ever, more professional than he's ever got in the last 5 years. Every second of training that I've got amounts to the hours that he spent back in the 80s. That's just the truth. I'm just saying it how it is, and I'm saying it exactly how those NWF so-called legends like to say it. The only NWF legend is myself, because as you can see by this championship and this shirt, I am the NWF, and I am what makes NWF relevant today. Because if it wasn't for me, it would be a washed up, forgotten piece of broken wrestling history that nobody would give a damn about. That's what the NWF is, and I'm saying it now, so you should all be thanking me for bringing this thing back.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I agree or disagree with that, you know, but I can assure you that there is some legends in NWF, Crusher Crossing, KDUSA, Kelsey, Ace, they've all done it. And even your friend Jamie McParland, you just aimed at your friend Jamie McParland, saying that the NWF don't have any legends and you are the NWF. That was aimed at someone who had a lot of respect for you. So now that you've heard that, how do you feel about that? Does that change any of your opinions?
It doesn't change my opinion at all. I have respect for people outside of wrestling, no problem. I respect you, Keaton, as a person. I respect Sean Crossen as a person. Do I respect Crusher Crossen ever? Absolutely not. Sean Crossen is my friend, not Crusher Crossen. Jamie McParland is my friend, not the Irish Terror. All right, that's just a fact. Keaton, you're my friend, not the Kid of Rock. All right. I have friends with people outside the ring, but as soon as we step in the ring or as soon as it becomes a competitive environment, you're not my friend. You're opposition, an enemy, and a target that I must get rid of to keep this championship. And I will do whatever it takes to keep this championship. And that's what Crusher lacks. Crusher's an old man. And if one thing we know about old people, they walk around, they hand out cookies, they hand out the worst candy at Halloween, they hand out all these generous things. They're so kind, they're so giving. That's the thing. Crusher's too nice. Crusher's way, way too nice to have the killer instincts to make the decisions that could possibly mean end of my career. I'm willing to make the decisions as much as I've begged Crusher not to have this match because I know I'm going to have to make that decision. I'm willing to make the decisions that could put that man in the hospital. And at his ripe age, that might mean never walking again. All right? So that's the fact. And no, my opinion does not change at all. I don't care how someone respects me. I choose my own respect. I don't mirror anyone else. I'm not a sheep. I've never been a sheep, and that's why I'm a champion. That's why I'm the goddamn Globetrotter.
Well, there were some more harsh words from the Globetrotter, but you mentioned there not being nice and being and Crusher Crossman's too nice in the ring. But there was a time, and I've seen your career from you've started till now. There was a time where Ricky Henry was the Canary Kid, one of the most well respected wrestlers, and with respect, he became the longest reigning NXT Junior Heavyweight Champion of all time. Now Crusher Crossen had respect in the ring, and he became a 5-time NWF World Champion. Through his respect, he could become a 6-time NWF World Champion. So tell me, how is your disrespect going to get you a win in this match when throughout your career, respect has gotten you everything, podcasts, everything like that, because of respect?
Keaton, let me tell you this. You want to talk about respect? Let's talk about respect. You're saying that the Canary Kid moniker, where I was this respectful, polite young man, just there to have a good time, and I became the longest reigning NXT Junior Heavyweight Champion of all time. That is correct. I did do that through sheer talent, hard work, and determination, all right? 100%. But let me point out this one small detail. Do you know how long exactly I held that title for?
I would say, was it 361 days?
Absolutely not. You do not know your history. I held that title for 140 days. Okay?
Overrated, you know.
You want to know how long I've held this title? Over 200 days. Why have I held this title longer? I've made more defenses. I've been just as many countries with this title. No, correction, more with this title. I have done so much more with the NWF Championship around my shoulder. And that just shows that the old me was a step down from the man I have become. I am now unstoppable. Keaton, when you used to commentate over my matches when I was the Canary Kid, your biggest thing was the underdog, the underdog, the underdog. You don't call me the underdog anymore. When I go in the matches with Adam Beggs, for example, you dropped a commentary line about me being dangerous, smart, and him being the rookie, and him being the underdog. I'm no longer the underdog. I'm the favorite. I'm the people's favorite. I'm the people's voice. I'm the Vox Populi of NWF and NIPW. I'm the voice of the people. And when I'm speaking on behalf of the voice of the people, I will explain why I know why they all want Crusher to win. Because that was something that was spoken about, and I know that's going to be a question of yours. Crusher brought it up himself. Everyone's saying, oh, we want Crusher to win. Kick his ass, Crusher, kick his ass. And he thinks that's a reason on why he has my number. Let me be real. Let me just say it how it is. And no one will be able to argue this. Everyone loves an underdog story, correct? Correct. Mm-hmm. That's why people shed tears when I made my debut. That's why people shed tears when I won the junior heavyweight title. And that's why people shed tears when I won that championship. The people love the stories of the likes of the ugly duckling, the tortoise and the hare. They love those stories. Crusher is a washed up tortoise and is sure as hell one ugly duckling. But the thing is, unlike those fairy tales, Crusher's not going to beat this hare in a race. Crusher's not going to grow into being a beautiful swan anytime soon. I have always been the hare. I have always been a beautiful swan, and I will always be your NWF champion. So you can have your underdog stories all you want. You can sit at bed and you can pray every night. Hail Mary, let Crusher win the championship. Please, please, I really want it. It would be nostalgia. Who gives a damn about nostalgia? I'm thinking about the future, and the future is me. The present is me, and the past is forgotten. That's just facts, Keaton, and you know it's true, and you can't argue that.
No, you're right. I can't argue that. Everything you stated there was facts. I did label you as the underdog, and you'd proved me wrong every single time. I labeled you as the underdog against D.D. Crooks. You destroyed D.D. Crooks for the NXT Junior Heavyweight Championship. I've labeled you as the underdog throughout your career, and I know I know that it's true that you're definitely not the underdog going into this match. And Crusher Crossen, not saying Crusher Crossen can't win. There is still a chance, but you're definitely not the underdog going into this match. You've had 5 years of experience in wrestling. You've done way more than most in wrestling. But Crusher Crossen also knows what he's doing. You know, some of it is a kind of 50-50 chance because Crusher Crossen knows the old style, he knows more styles, and he knows the oldest trick in the book. He has more experience, so there is a big factor in that.
Oldest trick in the book. The oldest trick in Crossen's book is getting out of bed in the morning. All right, don't know what you're talking about. Oldest trick in the book. He doesn't even know how to do a double loop bunny ears and ties on laces without blowing his back out. So I don't know what you're talking about. Oldest trick in the book. No one tricks me. I'm the trickster. All right, you said it yourself. I'm smarter than anyone else. I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than Crusher. I'm smart as all those rats in the comments trying to say I won't retain my championship. So I'm just gonna put that one out there before you keep talking. Go ahead.
Speaking of comments, you've got some love here coming from Mighty Molly, who says, we love you, Ricky, we do.
I know you do. Who couldn't?
Then Darren Whiteside says, Ricky is getting drop kicked over the top rope.
Here, Keaton, do me a favor. Go downstairs. Look your dad in the eyes and tell him I said to shut his mouth or else he'll be next. Because I clearly don't have a problem whipping old men. I'll whip him too. Next.
Wrestling for Life says, I hope Donald Trump sends the Marines in to take that belt back home.
Donald Trump can send all the Marines he wants. He can send himself over here and I'll smack his toupee off his head. Because here's the truth. I'm no Venezuelan dictator. I'm your world champion. So I will drop kick his head off and I will meteora knees for every single Marine's head that he tries to send my way. I won't be in pajamas sleeping with my wife and kids when he comes to me. I will be ready, primed in my black and gold gear with these fists up, ready to deck him. Next comment.
Wrestling Insider says, your last few victories were flukes. Lucky you had a rookie ref and Dylan, the henchman.
Well, clearly my luck's going great for me. So if luck's what's got me this far, it's going to keep bringing me far, especially past this pussy-ass speed bump that is Crusher Crossen, because that's what he is. He's no barricade for me. He's no barrier. He's no stop sign. He's a little speed bump that I'll slow down for and just pop my way over, because that's how easy it's going to be.
Do you know what? I have to be honest. Wrestling Insider has a point. A lot of the last few victories were flukes. If you look at and rookie refs, you know, I'm trying my best to be unbiased, but I have to admit, if you've looked at my match against you, you know, I changed you quite a lot. And near the end, the referee wasn't looking. You were attempted to hit me up the head with a guitar, and it was a fluke that you took the win when I was distracted. It was a fluke with Adam. It was a fluke with everybody else. Adam was a rookie, and Adam had way less experience.
What did I do to fluke Adam?
I didn't say you done anything to fluke Adam. All I said was
it's not a fluke and it's not luck.
Well, the last one was a fluke. So Wrestling Insider.
What was the last fluke I had?
Last fluke you had was when I was distracted, topping me out.
That wasn't my last one. I've had multiple matches since then. Keaton, you're living in the past, just like Crusher
I said
by trying to think he can get into wrestling again.
No. You forgot what I said. I said your last fluke. Your last fluke that you had was against me.
My last fluke was in August, according to you. It's been a long time since August. Yeah, so get your facts right. The same way you don't know my title reign, you don't even know what my last fluke was. Fluke, by the way. All right, so get a comment in, because these people are just as bad as you. They're clueless, they're wired up, and they're clearly uneducated.
Okay. Okay. So Wrestling Insider says we shed tears because all other good wrestlers were robbed.
Oh, you shed tears because of the good wrestlers were robbed. Well, it's a funny thing, because I mentioned my debut as one of the examples, and I lost my debut match. So you're trying to say I was robbed against John McCann, and so be it. I was robbed, I guess. But here's the thing. I'm not like the Ben Nelsons of the world. I'm not like the Keatons of the world. I'm not going to sit there and say, I was robbed because I lost a wrestle match. When have you ever heard me come on after a wrestle match and say, and make an excuse and say, I lost because of this, which is very rare that I lose anyway, so it would make sense if you've forgotten.
Your scramble match against Ben Nelson. I mean, not against Ben Nelson, sorry. Your scramble match at Belfast Brawl.
Oh, so I made an excuse because a man jumped in the ring with a crutch and attacked me. I think that's a pretty good excuse. Keaton, you're complaining about me almost hitting you with a guitar. You've made me drop my title and everything. Keaton, you're getting me wound up. You're trying to come to me because I almost hit you with a wee plastic guitar that broke on impact. You need to get a better guitar, by the way. Call yourself a kid of rock. You're the kid of Poundland. That's what you are, right? But you're trying to give me shtick for coming at you with a fake guitar, but then saying you make excuses when I got attacked by a crazy lunatic fan who faked an injury and grabbed the crutch and beat me with it on the ground brutally. Yeah, funny enough, I have a right to make excuses and you don't, because I didn't hit you with a guitar.
Okay, so again, you attempted to hit me with a guitar, same way Ben Nelson hit you with a crutch, and it made perfect sense. You injured Ben Nelson's knee. You injured your friend's knee when you didn't need to. So Ben Nelson got up and hit you up the back on the back with a crutch. that's the least you could do. So yes, you have actually blamed losing the match.
Yeah.
And you should have been watching. You should have been watching for anybody else around you to be a veteran.
And you
And
should
that's
be
why
being unbiased right now, so zip it and give me an unbiased bit of reporting. We have another comment in.
and that's why Crossen. No, I'm going to get this part out. And that's why Crossen is a veteran that you need to watch out for. Same way Ben Nelson is a veteran. So yes, now get them the next comment. Darren it says, "Get used to dropping that title."
You should drop that title. That's a good one. Who wrote that? Your wife? Now get it out of here. It's terrible. And Keaton, let me just say this. All right, you want to call Crusher Crossen a veteran? Nah. A veteran says a veteran, someone with experience who's been in the wrestling industry for a long time. Crusher's not been in the wrestling industry for a long time. He's been out of it for a long time because he quit on the NWF. He quit on the people. He quit on every single one of his fans who sit here and pay for merch, pay for DVDs, pay for books. He quit on every single one of those kids who he gave a dream to. He is a dream killer. He is an absolute dream killer. And you rats support dream killers. The only way I'm a dream killer is by beating these rookies and giving them a reality check that then gives them the hope, gives them the fire in their spirit to come back. And I really hope I see an Adam Beggs try and take a title from me. And I'd love it if he did. I would love it if Tom Patterson comes back in 6 months' time and takes this title from me. I would love it to happen because it would show progress and it would show the impact I make on careers. The only impact Crusher made on careers is by ending them, by calling it quits on it all. He's a quitter, and that's what's going to happen on January 18th. I wouldn't be surprised if he quits on me in our match.
Well, TZS was a very good point here. Saying Crusher never retired.
And I never said he'd retired. I said he quit, and that's no lie. He did quit. Keaton, you know yourself. You can say it yourself. He quit the NWF. He quit wrestling. He did. He wasn't wrestling anymore. He quit. I never say he retired. When you quit a job, you don't retire from it. You quit. He quit wrestling. He didn't go back to wrestling for a long-ass time. And I bet you if someone asked him in about 2015, are you retired? He would have said yes. The only reason he's not retired anymore is because he's jealous of the stardom that I've brought to the NWF and he wants to do what he's always done. And that's put his face on everything and get all the credit. But the thing is, I'm not like the other kids that were so easily influenced by Crusher because he gave me a dream. He gave me a wrestling story. He gave me everything. Crusher gave me nothing but a platform to show my greatness. So Crusher, just because you want to put your face on something, just because that's your dream. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to crush your dreams because you're not putting your face on nothing. The only thing your face getting put on is that damn canvas on the 18th of January.
Well, you're right that Crusher never retired. That is a good point. But there was a few wrong points there because you said that the only thing Crusher brought you is a podcast. He brought you the NWF title. Even though he did give it to Ben Nelson, you wouldn't have that title if Crusher didn't bring it out of retirement. You wouldn't have the opportunity to wrestle for that title. But aside from that, you have to admit, you and Crusher have some big similarities. You at one point in your careers, you were both the underdogs. Crusher started wrestling when he was 13. You started wrestling when you were 13, I think. And you know, you have some big similarities. Do you not think? So why is it that you're wrestling someone so similar to you? And is there a bit of you that kind of feels bad for wrestling Crusher, and a bit of you that kind of feels I don't want to beat up an old man?
Why am I wrestling someone so similar to me? Clearly, someone hasn't been keeping up with the main NWF podcast, NWF Fast Forward, because you'll know I had no choice in this matter. All right, I'm a company man, and I follow orders, and I just do what I'm told to do. And I got a phone call from Nathan Hoy that told me NWF title match, you and Crusher Crossen. So I had no say in the matter, but what I will say is, you're talking about do I have sympathy? If I haven't made it clear enough, let me make it even clearer. Yes, I don't want to have this match. Everyone made these jokes, and Crusher made these jokes himself because of his ego blinding himself from the truth. But people made jokes that I feared Crusher. I didn't want to fight Crusher. I didn't want to go one-on-one with him. I didn't want to make the risk of having him 6-time champ. God forbid. That's not the truth. The truth is, I don't want to wrestle Crusher Crossen because I don't want to hurt the guy. It's just sense. Once you get to an age, especially with no athletic activity at all, once you get to the age he is of almost 60 years old, you hit a point where your bones become more frail, your muscles become weaker, your body becomes so much more prone to injuries that could end your career. All right. You've seen my match with Ben Nelson. One of the moves I hit him in that match was a German suplex that dropped him straight on the back of his head. You trying to say if I hit a German suplex on Crusher Crossen, he wouldn't be paralyzed for a week at least, maybe life? He can't handle that. And that's not me saying that he's weak or that he's afraid or that he's some puss. That's not me saying that. But what I am saying is that he's too old to be in a wrestling ring, especially with no athletic experience since the 1990s. It's a terrible idea. And as someone who sees Sean Crossen as a friend, it would harm me to see Crusher Crossen take an injury or get hurt or anything worse than that. So I don't want to go through with this match. But Nathan Hoy, Crusher Crossen, Mitch Baxter at the time, alongside the rest of NIPW management, have put their foot down on this situation and have said, you must face Crusher Crossen. And if that's what they want me to do, then I will do it. I have indeed negotiated, I don't know what's out there, but I've negotiated for a higher paycheck for this fight because it's at risk. And I've negotiated, I don't know if Crusher's aware, for him to get a higher paycheck for this fight because I want him to be able to pay for those hospital bills because America still hasn't worked out free healthcare. So that's the facts. I have sympathy for the man. I don't want to do this, but I will do it because I want this more than I want anything else.
And that sort of makes sense. But when you said there, you are facing your friend as well, of course, Sean Crossen. That brings way more than the Crusher Crossen character. This is a guy who did give you the opportunity to wrestle for the NWF World Championship. This is a guy who you would recognize as a friend, a guy who you got along with for so long. So when you step into that ring, I know that you're a completely different person. I've been a lot firsthand, and that you don't see friendships. All you see is that belt and winning. But going into this ring against Crusher Crossen, will you not feel that you're wrestling Sean Crossen, and will you not feel that you're taking it too much on him?
Keaton, when I make my entrance and I see Crusher in the ring, I will see Sean Crossen. When I get in the ring, stand up on the top rope and look at all the fans, if I look back over my shoulder, I will see Sean Crossen. When the ring announcer is doing that moment where he explains the championship and he explains what the bout's for and he does his introductions, I will not hear Crusher Crossen's name be announced. I will hear Sean Crossen. But the moment, the second, the minute minute that bell rings, it's Crusher Crossen, who is an opponent and is going to be a victim to my absolute reign of terror over the NWF and NIPW. So for minutes before the bout even starts, I will see Sean Crossen. But the moment the bell rings, it's Crusher Crossen in the ring for me. And that's what's going to happen.
Fair enough. But I just want to say here, this is what it's all for. It's for the end. 1 minute.
Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing.
It's hard from a phone, So
have one in this thing. He's doing this on a DS.
So this is what it's all for. The NWF World Heavyweight Championship. Crusher Crossen wants the winner for the 6th time. Can he do it? Where he faces off against Ricky Henry, the Globetrotter. We've heard both of their stories, and now you can get to see this piece of history where Crusher Crossen, the legendary former younger wrestler, gets in the ring with now the newest up-and-coming wrestler in Northern Ireland, one of the smartest wrestlers, Ricky Henry. This is a match you do not want to miss, and now it's happening at the Lions Den Pro Wrestling Dojo. Now, you do not want to miss this match, so remember to get your tickets at nipw.sumupstore.com. So, Ricky, I want to ask you, what is after this match? What is next for the Globetrotter?
What's next for me? Well, now to mention it, I know NIPW, it's not out there just yet, but we have a plan. We have a plan to go on the road and make a lot of traveling this year, probably our most traveled year if everything goes to plan. We are making heavy investments, which is why there's been a relocation of the next show. We are making heavy investments that will pay off in the future. So what do I plan to do? I plan to go everywhere NIPW goes. I plan to make a name for the Globetrotter. I plan to win against anyone who they put in the ring with me. I plan to put people down, and I plan to establish myself as the pound for pound best. And I plan to look for more than just one championship in this next year. Because, my good former friend Ben Nelson has that, junior heavyweight title. I missed that. I wouldn't mind getting that back. There's the tag team division. I could always look at a tag partner. I'm sure people would love to be my friend. And most importantly, My old friend John McCann has that Northern Ireland title, and I haven't fought for a world championship just yet, apart from the NWF one. I haven't fought for an NIPW world title. So there's always time for that. So, Keaton, what is it for me? I plan on stopping this shoulder pain and leveling out my shoulders by getting another championship. That's what I have in store. And I plan on making the NWF even bigger than it already was after I got my hands on it.
Well, yeah, you mentioned they're taking a lot of other titles, but Mighty Molly wants to know where are you going to where are you going to take this title? And she states that you're going to crush Crossen. So, where is the Globetrotter taking the title after he crushes Crossen?
Well, of course, the first thing after I Crusher Crossen is I'm going to take the title and shove it straight up his ass. But once I take it back out and polish it down, I plan on taking it anywhere I go, whether that be the UK, whether it be down south, whether it be Portugal again. Hell, I might go to see Canada again. Maybe I should go to Scotland. Maybe I should go Spain, Germany, France. There is a multitude of nations I could bring this title, and I will.
All right. I've had
That's all
just
right.
about enough of this.
What's going on here, Keaton? I told you. What's going on
Listen,
here?
what's going on here? You're going to shove it up me? No, you're
Yeah.
not going to do anything of the sort.
Oh, yeah.
You better hug that belt real tight on the
I will
18th,
hug it
Ricky,
tight.
because that's the only way that belt goes anywhere with you.
Uh-huh.
You're sitting here making all this Mr. NWF talk. Remember this, like Keaton said, you wouldn't even have that belt if it wasn't for me. I'm the one that put that belt back on the map. You just happen to be the lucky recipient. Ben could have beat you. In fact, he would have beat you if you didn't clothesline me. Remember?
It's funny.
So listen to this. Now, you know I respect you, but when that bell rings, it's me, it's you, it's the belt. And it's going to come down to who can beat who in that ring. And if you think that I'm some kind of washed up has-been, think again, because you're in for a rude awakening.
Uh-huh. I'm shaking in my boots. It seems like we've got Crusher Crossen a little bit wound up. The old man is acting like a toddler now and having a temper tantrum live on Kayfabe with Keaton. You're embarrassing yourself, and you're going to embarrass yourself even more getting in the ring with me, El Campeon.
Mm-hmm.
You're making a very big mistake, mate. Very, very big mistake. And you know yourself, and I made it clear, and I'm sure you know, you can say I'm all these things, but one thing I'm not is a liar. And I'm not lying when I say I do not want to cause harm to you, but you know for a fact just as much as I do, and just as much as Keaton knows, just as much as everybody in this comment section, just as much as everyone backstage in NIPW knows, I will cause harm to you if it means keeping my world championship. And you hear the emphasis on that word, my, because I am the NWF. If you want to say it's just an act and I'm just Mr. NWF all of a sudden, who's the one right now just wearing some random shirt? I'm repping the NWF for once. I am repping this world championship. I'm the one who's making defense after defense after defense after defense, putting everyone down. I am the person making history of this title. You can have your 5-time reign. You can have your longest ever title reign. But the thing is, I'm the one fighting opponents from England. I'm the one fighting opponents here in Ireland. I'm the one fighting opponents from Canada. I am fighting everyone there is to fight for this championship. Who did you fight for the title? A bunch of Americans and a fake Asian. That's who you fought.
Fighting all these people.
Yeah.
And you say I'm a quitter, and I quit.
You did quit. Are you trying to say you didn't quit? Come on, come on this podcast right now and tell us you didn't quit on the NWF.
I've kept this NWF name alive long before this title match with you and Ben. I have been carrying this torch for many decades. And I've had many opportunities to get back in the ring. And I've just chosen not to do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a choice, Ricky. But you know what? You and your big mouth, you've managed to awaken the beast. And you're going to get something that you've never seen before. You can sit here and say how great and wonderful you are and how experienced you are in the 4 years you've been wrestling. But you've never faced somebody like me before. And I know that look. That look you had when you almost had to face me with Ben, and the same look you had a few weeks ago. I know that look. You can't hide your poker face, Ricky. And I know what's on your mind. And you better, if you don't come into this with both guns ablazing, you're in trouble. Because you're not only going to lose that belt, you might be in the hospital yourself. Thinking about what you could have done differently.
Crusher. This isn't America. We don't run about with guns like yourselves. All right. And one thing I'm going to clear up. you did quit. You can say you carried the torch, and I'm not going to deny that. Of course you carried the torch, but when you took that torch and carried it, you neglected all the people who made the NWF. You can put your name on the NWF, but you're not the NWF. Every single one of those performers were the NWF. The Irish Terror. Crusher Crossen's name's in there, of course. The Tokyo Terror. Dixie Dave. Kelsey. Ace. That's just to name a few. Those people are the NWF. And what did you do? You quit on every single one of them, leaving them with nowhere to go. Nowhere to go.
You want to talk about quitting on people? You quit on all your people. You turn your back on all your fans, the ones that supported you from the very beginning, including Keaton. And not only that, you treated him like a kid glove. Like I didn't want to talk about that because it just gets me angry. But you turned your back on all of your fans, Ricky. You talk about quitting? Look in the mirror.
Look, Crusher, the fact is you can call me a quitter, you can call you a quitter. We don't compare, all right? That's like comparing gold to a plastic bottle. Completely different, all right? You're a completely different form of quitting because my type of quitting, I didn't quit on anyone. They chose not to follow along in my route. I followed my own path the way that you did too. But the only thing is, I gave people an option to follow me or not. You left those NWF workers with no option at all. Want to know why you did that? I'll tell you all, and I'll be the first person to say ever in the history of NWF. It's because you're a selfish, self-centered sack of shit that's going to get dropped on your head on January 18th. You're a selfish egomaniac. That's what you
bring it.
You can put it out here that you're so charitable.
You're talking all tough.
Yeah.
I hope you bring this tough edge to that match, Ricky, because you're going to need it. And you're going to need a lot more. Sitting here saying that I quit on everybody. I've never heard anything so stupid in my life. But you know what? Think that. But I know exactly what it takes. Because you know why, Ricky? I'm a 5-time champ. You can call me the 5-time loser all you want, but I have won that thing 5 times, and I know exactly how to beat you. And that's what worries you, and you damn well know it does. Because everybody else you faced hasn't had that kind of experience with that belt, with that specific belt. So you better be on your A game. You better do all these things you say you're going to do. You better German suplex. You better do everything. Because there's moves I'm going to do to you, Ricky, that you don't know how to take. And what's going to happen when you land on your head in a move that you weren't prepared for? I can do your stuff. I've already proved it for the last 2 months. I'm doing moves that I've never even done before, and I do it, and I ace it the first time. So you just better be ready, is all I can say.
I'm sure you're ready to face the most actual trained athlete you'll ever come against. All right? Because I'll tell you this. You've won and lost that title 5 times. But it wasn't against the best of the best, as much as I discredit you for taking away from those NWF alumni. One thing that they all was not trained as good as I was. They didn't have the experience I did. They were kids with hearts and dreams 100%, and you crushed them all.
Ricky, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. I'm
going
to say this. There's no doubt that you're talented.
You can wait. Because I am trained.
I never said
I'm
you weren't.
Experienced champion. You lost it to people who are a quarter of the man I am. So what makes you truly believe you have a chance against me now that you're well past your prime?
What makes me believe? Because your attitude. You are well trained, but your mind isn't. And you have this big mouth that just keeps running amok of everything, belittling everything, and that's your downfall. Because you have a shitty attitude. Sorry, Keaton, but that's just the best way to say it. You turn your back on the fans, you turn your back on everybody, and you're going to find out on the 18th of January. And you know what? Sunday, you and I in a week, we're going to be together in that Royal for that NIPW podcast live stream. You better behave yourself there. I'd hate to have to make an example of you there. I don't need a wrestling ring.
You won't do a thing, man. You'll do
you
absolutely
just better be
nothing.
ready. You just better be on your toes.
You'll do absolutely nothing. You'll sit down like a good man, and you'll sit there, you'll talk your talk, you'll walk your walk, but one thing you'll do is get put in a line of chalk in the middle of that ring. That's what's going to happen.
Now,
so
just shut your mouth. Keaton was trying to say something.
Listen, I've been trying my best not to say anything throughout this podcast, throughout the biasness of trying to be unbiased. But when someone mentions Crusher Crossen and says that he quit on the NWF, that's just infactual. He gave you a chance, Ricky. He gave everybody in that NWF a chance at that young age to wrestle and break through. And when they got over 18, that wasn't Crusher's problem. They could have wrestled, they couldn't have not wrestled. But Crusher's been carrying the NWF name, carrying the legacy throughout these years. And for you to say that he quit on the NWF, for you to say that he quit on everything else, it's just so infactual. But let's get to the comments here because
go.
so,
Don't want to have the deck of wannabe podcaster either, so I'll just focus on Crusher.
wannabe podcaster. Okay.
Yep, just keep going. I just do your job for once.
Sorry, name what guest you've got on. Sorry. Now Crusher's got on a lot of guests, but
Do you want me to bring a comment in, Keaton?
yeah, if I'm a wannabe podcaster,
Yeah, how about you just bring in your comments and shut your mouth?
Guys, I'm going to retire the aviators so I can read because we know Ricky can't. Let's see
I've got
here.
your fun strings.
Okay, these are the comments.
You see, that's good.
All right, here we go. Wrestling Insider, Keaton. Can you read it now?
Okay, Crusher Crossen will outclass you in the ring the way he outclasses you in the build-up.
There we go.
That was a good one. Who gave you that, ChatGPT? Get it off. Give me another one. I need something better than that. I'm not working with that.
And Darren Whiteside says you won't hear anything but booze.
Yeah, jealousy's a terrible thing, isn't it? Next question.
Ricky, be afraid. From the Darren Whiteside again. I heard a rumor Crusher's getting some private coaching when he comes to Northern Ireland from a person who knows you every move.
Boy, Darren's got some inside sources, doesn't he? And that is and he speaks the truth, Ricky boy.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Crusher prepares. This is what I'm trying to say, Keaton. This is where the experience comes in, whether I've been away from the game or not. You prepare in every way possible for somebody like him. Because you want to know why? And this is what I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted here. Not by you, Keaton, but by him.
Yep.
He is talented, and I'm talking about Ricky. He's very well skilled. Everything you said about him, Keaton, is not a lie. He's good. Why do you think he has the NWF belt to begin with? Because he's the best of the best when it comes to that for that time. But now I'm coming into town, and now it's going to be a different ball game. And like I said, I would be lying if I said I wasn't doing it for me, because I am doing it for me. That's Crusher Crossen, and I tell it like it is. Yeah. I'm also doing it for everybody else. I'm doing it for Keaton. I'm doing it for Tom Patterson and Adam and all those guys that had to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
And deal with the aftermath of it and how you just gloated and made fun of Ben's family in his own hometown.
Of course I did. And you know what? Let's talk about someone. What did Ben do about that? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. The same way you're going to do absolutely nothing on January 18th. And you're going to do absolutely nothing in the Royal. All right? So I don't know why you're running your mouth this much just to get embarrassed. And you made the point of pointing out, yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm doing it for myself. No one's surprised, Crusher. You do everything for yourself. And Keaton, you're saying those kids could have went and wrestled anywhere else. That's the thing. They couldn't. They couldn't have, because their dreams were already crushed by this tyrannic maniac, self-centered egomaniac that is Schmucker Crossen.
I hope this is the Ricky Henry that shows up, Keaton. Because if this is the guy I'm facing, if this is the one I'm looking at, I'm not seeing my friend. I'm seeing my opponent. And I will take care of business, Keaton. Mark my words. You know, he says that he's so old, he doesn't know what he's doing. He can't take any moves. You know how many times I've been Goldberg speared and God knows what else in that ring, and he thinks I can't handle it. I'm going to get broken. A simple suplex? You better bring more than a German suplex, my friend, if you think you're going to beat Crusher.
Well, guys, if you think this is bad, remember, at 2 Royal Avenue, Sunday, 11th of January at 3 p.m. This is just a taster of what we're seeing right now. We're seeing two people arguing, and it's getting heated. But this is going to be it's just a taster. This is going to be way even more heated when NIPW Podcast Live Show finally debuts. It's free entry. You get to meet the wrestlers, all that, and you get to hear these two talking about their match. If you think this is heated, the next part is going to be very heated at NIPW Shockwave, 2 Royal Avenue. Don't miss it.
And I just want to say, Keaton, I'm sorry to interrupt. I didn't want to come in at the end.
No problem.
But man, you've pushed my buttons too many times, and that's you're just gonna you deal with the consequences. And he knows this. He's just trying to get under my skin, but it ain't gonna work come 18th. I just gotta
shaking like a leaf over here, Crusher, shaking like your little arthritis riddled hands, terrified. Terrified.
Isn't it funny too, Keaton? I just want to say this.
Crusher, you're never
He
funny.
sees me getting in the shape that I'm in. And what does he do? He starts going to the gym, him and John, because they want to say, oh my God, Crush, we can't make him outlook us. He can outshine us. We got to get in shape too. Monkey see, monkey do.
No, Crusher. I'll give you the credit. I saw you going to the gym, and you want to talk about I did it because I was jealous. I wasn't jealous, no. But if my opponent is putting in hours and hours in the gym, that's not something I'm that used to. Just for someone who's that dedicated to their physical shape. So I knew I had to improve my physical shape. That's called strategy. That's why today I spent 2 hours of my day in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, because I know one thing you can't do is grapple like I can. So I'll just add that to my resume as well. Crusher, I'm doing everything I can, because as much as I want to make jokes, I'm taking this match very, very seriously.
Okay, the jiu-jitsu thing is new to me now, and it doesn't surprise me because he knows he has to do a shoot with me in training as well. So he's trying to do everything he can to try to beat Crusher in the regular match, in the shoot. I can't wait. The 18th can't come soon enough, Keaton. I got to say. But I will say that I'm not going to rip on him too much for the gym. I don't rip on people for the gym. Gym's something good that everybody should be doing. I'm not going to rip on him or John. But I'm just saying they follow the Pied Piper. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're as old as the tail of the Pied Piper, mate. All right, can we wrapping this up or what?
Well, you know what?
Chicks to see.
Things are getting got very heated on the podcast today, so
I
thank
want
you
to put
both
that
for-
last comment in though, because I do like that one. I know that we're all fans of this. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, Crusher. I like that. I like that. Or, as he would say, I like that. I like that. Yeah. I just gotta say, I like that comment.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
as
hilarious.
now, yeah, I enjoyed that one. So as things got heated here, I want to thank you both for coming on, even though how unexpectedly heated it got, and then the
I apologize again,
surprising,
but I had to step in. I just had to.
Yeah,
well,
don't
and
interrupt Keaton when he's talking. Go
and
ahead.
the surprising showing up of Ricky Henry, but didn't expect at all. He showed up. So thank you both for coming on, even if it was an unwanted arrival from Ricky Henry. Thank you both.
Not a problem. You're welcome.
Right. So that was one heated podcast today of Kayfabe with Keaton. What a double header we've had. We've had a class interview with DJ Head, talking GZW, and we even had another interview talking about this match, the match that everybody's talking about. Crossen versus Ricky Henry. The former 5-time NWF World Champion has taken enough stick from Ricky Henry. He's taken enough of it, and he's going in the ring against Ricky. This is the old versus the new. You need to get tickets for this. Sunday, January 18th, 2025, Belfast, Northern Ireland, and get your tickets at nipw.sunupstore.com. Do not miss this at the Lions Den Pro Wrestling Dojo. This is history being made, and there's limited tickets available. So remember to get your tickets for this. But what a great podcast we've had today with Crossen and Ricky Henry, and the unwanted rival of Ricky Henry. So once again, thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.